Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a while since I've done any track and field commentary. I've just been so out of it. Been paying attention, but just not been making any comments. But this war relay thing here was interesting. You know, I'm Jamaican, two-time Olympian, representing Jamaica in 84 Olympics and 88 Olympics, of which 1984 we won the silver medal in the 4x100 meter relay behind the United States. And of course, we didn't medal in 88, but we were in the finals, finished fourth. So I always look forward to the relays because I was a relay specialist and ran the second leg, and always pride ourselves on relay efficiency. So let's look at some of the results. Jamaica didn't fare too well in some of these relays. They did okay in the 4x1 men's and the mix. So let's look at the mix. As you can see there, 2 women, 2 men running a season's best of 40.30 in the 4x1 mixed relay. Now that looked like it's going to be a thing. You know, I know in the past, other videos, I've seen people play around with, if you were to pick different people on a team, what would be your dream team? So I guess this is going to be a thing. Kind of exciting. Bring something different to track and field. And then Jamaica, Serena Cole, Crystal Slowly, Javari Thomas, Brian Lavelle, 40.44. Season's best for them too. Not bad. And then Great Britain finished 3rd. Australia 4th. Italy 5th. France 6th. China 7th. And this thing, I guess it stopped right there. I guess it was 7 of them. So at least we had a little bit of a pride to celebrate in the mixed relays. But, you know, our main thing is the traditional 4x1, you know, men's team separate, women's team separate, where that's still the marquee event. And Brian Lavelle, he was trying to make a comeback, but he just wasn't able to wing it. And now let me sit up here a little bit, show my face. And, you know, you can tell, you know, they're not sharp. And I think the problem with the Jamaican, even with the men's team, the women's team, they're not sharp. They don't run a lot of relays together. Some of these teams like Canada, well, with the mixed relay, that's different. I don't know if they've run mixed relays a lot. But like in the male and female straight teams, they ran a lot more as a team in different races. Jamaicans don't seem to put a team together until like the trials. Like when they have the national trials for team selection, and then they pick the top 6 or top 4 or whatever. And then they don't really practice until they get to the championship site where the host country side is, and in between individual events and all that, preparing for that, they get whatever practice they can. But there need to be still some focus on getting the team to run more together. So even if they can't practice all the time, they've run a couple of times together to keep that efficiency going. Or they need to just find a team. They don't have to be the fastest in the world, but fast, but can move the baton around, meaning they know how to utilize the exchange zone, efficiency, baton handling, baton passing skills, you know how to the takeoff area, that kind of thing, to perfect that. It's really a science to it. And if you don't have that, you know, reaching back where your arms are positioned, the reach to pass the baton, the preciseness of that, the visualization. You know, if people are feeling around for the baton, or they're taking off too early, or they, you know, they're not able to run a good curve or a good backstretch, or you're not a good starter. We need to have somebody who can be a good starter, a backstretch runner, a good curve runner, and then of course a good enough anchor. Even if they're not the best at the anchor, we can get them a lead and they can just hold off. It'd be nice if everybody, like I said, is fast but can manage the baton exchange efficiently. But that was the results for the mixed relays. And let me see, can I go back? Oh, it took me all the way out. I did this wrong. Let me go back into it again. I hit the wrong button. You know, I get the result from Track and Field News. The mixed 4x4, of course, Spain win that 312.55, Germany 313, China 313, Jamaica managed fourth with 14.42. So I guess Jamaica will qualify for the 4x4 for World Championships. As I was watching the videos on YouTube, I find that the Jamaica men's 4x1 has not qualified, because that's the new thing now. You got to qualify in the world relays to qualify for the World Championships in the relays. Brazil 6. So, you know, Germany and Spain is doing their thing, you know. Jamaica, we still need to be in the running for the 4x4, 4x1. Back to the timetable. Okay, I'm looking at the qualifying round. Let me go back here. I clicked the wrong thing here. Bear with me. I meant to go right here. We already covered that. Back to the timetable. So what am I looking at here? That's today. Evening session. 4x4. Brazil, Netherlands, Jamaica qualified also with 302. So Jamaica is going to make it to the 4x4 in the men's and the women's, and the men's 4x1 is yet to qualify. So we're going to have to go find a team to run somewhere in between now and the World Championships in September. See if they can qualify. I remember, what was it, last year? We tried to qualify the men of Bahamas, a special meet, but they still couldn't get the time. I don't think it'd be hard for us to get the qualifying time. That's the thing. If we have any other race that like a last chance qualifier meet. So 4x4, 4x1, 4x women's relay qualifying round. 43, France made it, Italy made it. World qualifiers, China was the world qualifier. And then let's see. That's a 4x1 relay qualifier. I thought they had a qualifier. I think the men didn't make it for the. I mean, I saw the video clips. The second leg pulled up. So like again, they couldn't pass the stick around. Make sure I'm not missing anything here. Bear with me, I'm a little rusty with my coverage here. But anyway, the men's mixed 4x4. Well, I don't know why I said men's mixed 4x4 relay. That's the final. USA took that. 309 championship record. Australia 312. Kenya 313, Great Britain 314, South Africa 316, Belgium 316, Poland, then Ireland. So oh, here's what I was looking for. Men's qualifying 4x1. Oh, I wasn't seeing it before. So France qualified with 38.31. Then Ghana with 38.32. Korea 38.51. And then, what was it? Taipei with 38.96. Netherlands did not finish. Switzerland did not finish. Let's see, what was E2? Belgium qualified, Kenya qualified, Colombia qualified. Jamaica did not finish. Wow. Jamaica is always in there. Jamaica is usually always in there. Okay, I was trying to find it again. Where did it disappear to? I didn't look at that other one. But anyway, I know a lot of y'all already watched that. You know, South Africa is on fire. 37-6-1. World lead. USA, they in the runnings. You know, now Jamaica is the one that seems to be messing up. USA, you know, is starting to get their act together in relays. And they're only going to get better. You know, they have to still worry about the relay exchanges. Jamaica just have to get themselves in gear. They have more than enough sprinters they can pick from. A lot of up-and-coming sprinters. Canada still in the runnings with 38-1-1. Japan, boy, 38-1-7. Italy, 38-2. Germany, Poland. Oh, Poland did not finish. Great Britain did not finish. But I believe those teams already have qualifying times for World Championships. Four by one women's final. Jamaica finished third. So Sharika just doesn't look sharp. And you know, the good thing is that the Jamaica women qualified. They got third. Great Britain, congrats to them. They took it out 42-2-1, 42-2-8. Jamaica third. USA 42. So USA and Jamaica, they're not tip-top sharp yet, and they don't have all their best athletes in there. I don't know what's going on with Shakara Richardson. She has not competed this year yet. Don't know what's going on with her. But Sharika, it was close enough that if Sharika was the old Sharika of a year or two ago, before the bad injury, I think she's still nursing that leg. You know, maybe afraid to push it. And because the season is going to be so long, you know, she's trying to make sure she stay healthy. But it's still disappointing to see her, Jamaica, not being able to overcome the obstacles, to at least produce some wins. But, you know, everything is a work in progress. I am disappointed, but I understand as a former athlete that sometimes things, you know, it's just a gradual building block. And you have to get things together. You got to, you know, get the team cohesion going. You need more time to compete as a relay team because everybody's tend to be focused more on individual events. And, you know, but the teams that don't normally function in individual events tend to be the relay thing tends to be their bread and butter when all else fails. Women 4x4 relay. Spain took that, of course. USA second. South Africa third. Men's 4x4. South Africa 257.50. Belgium 258.19. Botswana 258.27. I think Botswana didn't run all the top runners either. And of course, let's see the Tobago for some reason didn't show up there. You know, we don't know what's with that, but you know, I guess they could still select him for the World Championships. So that's just some of the stuff that I wanted to cover. And of course, my main thing is Jamaica, my home country. The men's team and the women's team are still trying to get it together. Hopefully the men's team are able to qualify later on for the 4x1, and they'll keep improving in the women's 4x4, men's and women's 4x4. The mixed relay, I think that's my first time seeing them running a mixed 4x1. So to me, that wasn't a bad effort. They can only improve from there. And the mixed 4x4, they can improve also from there. So, you know, we still have a few things to be proud of, but you know, nobody wants to see the team not place when you expect them to place, but it's the name of the game. It's sports. And sometimes there's a lot of things going on behind the scene which is causing them not to click and gel and have good performance that we don't know about. We don't know who is 100% sound. Some people are just not sharp yet. They're not gearing up for these. They're not trying to peak for these events. They're trying to peak for later on and individual events because the World Championship is September. You don't want to peak now and then, you know, July, August, you're dropping off of peak form and all those nice performances early and you can't repeat it in September and you lose out on earning a world title. So, and that's still the main thing for some of these athletes. But anyway, I just wanted to come in and interject with that. It was a good meet. The World Relays, World Athletic Relays, it ended up, you know, with some good competitions. The country showcased their efficiency in relay handling, but some other countries like my country, Jamaica, got to still make some adjustments and improvement. But anyway, that's it for now. Until next time, I'll try to get back into commentary again and give my 2 cents. But let's watch this space and continue to see who's improving throughout the season and who we got to look forward to for the World Championships. You know, they got the Grand Slam that is really giving some competition to the Diamond Leagues and they're turning out some good performances. So I like that. But we'll talk later. Until next time, I'm out.